Good morning, y'all. I woke up this morning and heard a real prophetic message that I know I just had to share. Just because I think that all of us, need to go through this 3-day fast, right? Everybody can benefit from it, but only those who are strong enough are going to be able to follow through with it, right? So I heard this message that we are operating on a system of fear and not faith. And so when I say you, when I say we, when I say me, I'm referring to all of us, right? I'm part of the collective as well. So I'm speaking to all of us right now. So I took notes and I just wanted to give my own spin on it and my own perspective based off of my experience as well. And also, as far as language, like I usually try to keep it neutral so that it can resonate with everybody. I know that sometimes people shy away from just religious language like God and all that. So I respect that. And so I try to keep it as neutral as possible. Sometimes I might use certain words, but please, whatever resonates with you and whatever higher power that you believe in. So you are operating from a place of fear instead of operating from faith. Fear is, well, let me start with faith. Faith is what gives you access to what you need, what you desire, what you want, and sometimes even what you just truly need. Not even always what you want and what you desire, but sometimes it's what you really need. And when you operate from a place of fear, that is, when you're functioning on fear, that's the place that you operate from. So how can the universe's plan work for you if you're operating from a place of fear? What you need to do is remove all the deception and illusions that have been overcasting your life. Not only in this life, but in many other lives, this deception has been playing you, it's been controlling you, and it's actually been generational. It's not only in this lifetime, but it has been controlling your decisions, it's been dictating your moves, and it has been keeping you bonded. And also, you have been determining what's possible for you based on what's happening with others around you. Like how ahead are you? How behind are you in comparison to others, right? But what you have to know is that sometimes people will reach out to you and just to see how you're doing, right? And you may very well be this person as well. And, no judgment, no shame. This is just about recognizing, what our actions really mean, right? What the deeper meaning of our actions is. So sometimes people might reach out to you and ask how you're doing, but they really just want to know if you are struggling as much as they are because they don't want to feel alone, right? And also, I will blatantly do this. I have no shame in being like, are you also struggling? Are you also dying like I am? I'm just curious with the people that I can really be real with, right? So knowing why we do this is important so that we can break free from these cycles of bringing each other down and wanting others to be in our misery, right? We all have our own paths, and when we're miserable and we're struggling, we don't need necessarily to pull others down with us. What we need to do is isolate and look within and figure those things out for ourselves. And the way that we can do that is by taking a fast, right? This 3-day fast is going to look different for everybody. So most people think of fasting as, not eating for 3 days, just removing something from your life that has been toxic. Uh, but yeah, the first thing that people think of is food, right? Like I've done a 60-day juice cleanse, and was that was the beginning of like my awakening, was removing all that toxicity from my body, right? And in doing so, in doing like a physical fast of removing like, I guess, the physical toxins in my body, um, it awakened the it just opened up the blockages and awakened my mind to what was deep within, like the clarity and the knowledge and the wisdom. So it was able to seep out, and come out and enlighten me. But even then, like, all I was doing was fasting with the food, and everything else was still present in my life that was causing deception and illusions and whatnot. Um, and it's not always, usually, actually, not always something big. It's gonna be It's just like a big cloud of illusion where everything is foggy, but you don't even know that it's foggy, and you don't even know that you're in this fog until you're out of it, right? So it's really a trip, and it's actually like how most of us live our lives, in this fog. But but you'll find the strength to move forward when everyone around you is falling, right? If you are religious, you can reference this to Psalm 91. And I think of like a battlefield. I actually have always thought of this, which is interesting because I'm not Christian. I'm actually Buddhist. So it's just interesting, these mindsets that I've had, or um, that fall right into just, all the spirituality, all the religions, all of it. To me, it's all the same. We just have different names for our gods, right? So anyway, I think of a battlefield and like soldiers and everybody dying around you, right? I always thought like how hard it would be to be a soldier, to stay alive like during battles, and everybody around you is just falling one by one, and you got to be the strong one to fight for yourself and fight for your fellow soldiers, right? And that just seems so scary to me, to like just to stay alive, right? Um, like it's so easy just to get hurt and to get killed, to get shot or stabbed or just anything, right? So people are falling on your left, people are falling from your right, and you think it's normal. Like, no, you need to rebuke that mindset, and you are able to win, and you are able to stand up and have victory when everybody else is falling around you. So just because everybody else around you is falling and drowning and dying, like, doesn't mean that you also have to fall and drown and die. Like, you can be strong, and you can overcome, and you can win your own battle. Like, you've been believing these type of false data that's been fed to you all your life, right? They're just all lies. You look at your bank account, you look at your doctor statements, and everything that they're telling you, it's just all lies and deception. It's just a way to keep you from winning and from having your victory, right? To keep you broke, to keep you sick. All these beliefs that we've been fed have been creating an illusion for you all your life. These lies are embedded in your mind, but what you need to do is use your shield and use your armor to block these lies and these perceptions. You need to get your victory in the spiritual realm first before you get your victory in the natural world, in this 3D world, right? That's what a lot of people don't understand, is they try to get their victory from external forces like jobs and people. But what you need to know is that your level of faith when all else falls is what matters, right? This data that you've been fed all your life, that it just comes from everything, right? It comes from the experiences you face. It comes from, you know, the way you grew up, social society, the nations and the governments and the countries that that are ruling our world, like they're all lies. And this data is stored in your brain, and that's the place that you're operating from. So it's no wonder that it's so hard to reverse and to shift these mindsets. This is the inner work that we have to do that people speak of, right? Sometimes it's like, what do you mean work on you? Like, do what, right? Like, what's this personal development? What does it mean? And the reason why it can be so hard sometimes to explain is because it's different for everybody, right? I guess a generic example would be somebody who works too much, right? Maybe they have a family, a loving family, and that needs them, but they're just so focused on their work. So focused on their job, and maybe I guess we can say, like, if this is a masculine energy, right? Just the expectations of the world that makes them believe that making money is enough, is enough. Like, to be a good dad, to be a good husband, to be a good person, to be a good family member. Like, me working like 80 hours a week is what makes me a good provider, right? Even though I was never there for my family and never there for my kids and never there for my wife, like, I'm a good provider because I put a roof over their heads, whereas they wouldn't have that if I didn't exist. That mentality is just another lie. Like, what does it matter that you provided this house for this home that you're never there for? Because life is about relationships and connections and experiences and time together. So what does it matter that you've created this, like, existence that you're not in? So I've never believed that specific mentality about, like, a working father. It's really just, it's just excuses, and it's just a way to not take accountability for just being there, being present, right? And yeah, because the present is a gift, right? It's called the present. So we got to live in the present, and nothing else matters, right? So this is why we need to pass, and we need to purge from these lies. When you end up losing hope and fighting, when you end up losing hope and like, you're just tired of fighting these battles and these deceptions, that's when people give up. People end up giving up, and you end up being a part of that, a part of just the world that feels like they don't want to believe, like they decide to actually believe in the corruption. You've been warned, you've been advised, you've been given all the same messages that I have, right? But if you then choose to not follow and to not believe, and you choose to be deceived and to just live this life of lies, while I decide to take my protection, and I decide to take the advice and to follow the path, and then when you fall and then you want help, like, no, you got your chance, right? You got your chance, and you had your choice to also make the right decisions and to make the choices for yourself, but you decided to fall with the rest of the crowd. So you can't expect to bring others down and for others to necessarily help you when you've been given the opportunity to help yourself. So you see me winning now, and you want to take my victory, right? That's not how it works. So go fast, go meditate. You need to get off these apps, get off your phone, whatever it is that you feel like is just creating confusion in your mind. Like, what it is in your heart. Most of us are going through something, right? We're not just all good all the time. It's just one thing after another that we're going through. Lessons, battles. There's always somebody or something that we're dealing with, right? And if we see them as obstacles, it will just seem like never ending. Like, you have a never ending cloudy cloud casted over you. And I know that I've looked at some people like that too. Like, dang, it's just one thing after another that's just like causing them pain and struggles. Like, why? But Now I see that like they're just life lessons that we have to learn, and then when we don't learn them, they just keep repeating themselves over and over and over. So this is why you need to break the cycle, because it's tiring, and when you stay in a cycle for so long, like that's what wears you out, and that's what makes you lose hope, right? So regain your hope and regain your strength and try something new and rejuvenate your soul by just giving yourself a break from old toxic repeated patterns. So again, like if you feel like there's nothing that you could fast from, the very least that you could do is like fast from your phone, from social media, at the very minimum, and I guarantee you that you will see results and you will feel better and you will start to think for yourself. So there is like an energy of enabling as humans. We tend to influence each other in negative ways, and it's natural for us to like try to bring each other down. We're trying to bring everybody down to lower vibrations because it's easy to function on low vibrations, right? It's easy to do the wrong thing and just do whatever your heart, quote unquote, wants you to do, and just go with your temptations and your desires because your heart is telling you that that's what you should do, right? But there's a reason why we also have a mind and not just a heart, like, and we need to put the two together, and sometimes we do need to use logic, and we do need to trust our intuition and our faith and do the right thing, right? And you will know when you're doing the right thing, like good things happen for you, right? Like the food that you order will be delicious, like you'll win like random raffle prize, like all these little things that happen that are good for you are signs that you're doing the right thing and that you're on the right path. But when little bad things keep happening to you, like that's when you know that something is off, right? And that's when we start to get frustrated with life and become anxious and miserable. Is like, my car broke down, my dog has to go to the vet, like, all these little things that we just think, oh, that's just life, right? We just got to deal with it. Good shit happens, but then also bad shit happens, and that's just life, right? Like, actually, those are all signs that you need to pay attention to. Like, when all the things in your life are going wrong, like, that means that the decisions that you are making are also wrong, and they're leading you to this negative energy, right? So you really need to think about that. And your decisions do make like a huge impact on your life. Like, no, it's not everything else, it's your decisions. So just take accountability and and be real with yourself. If not anybody else, be real with yourself and stop lying to yourself. During this fast, you'll get a level of clarity that will get you to your victory. I promise you, even though it's just 3 days, like these 3 days will be everything to you. So I really empower you to stay strong, stay off that phone, stay away from that person who is just bringing you down, who's keeping you in a fog. Just take a break. It's okay. Like, it's okay. Just take a break from what you're doing that's just making you feel unsure. And if you have any questions about this fast or need any advice on how to do it, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help. Please leave comments and any questions that you have. But I give you strength and I give you the power to make it through this fast, and just know that we're all in it together, right? And you got this. And good luck and have fun.